and welcome to the lead generation through the art of connection. How to turn conversations into leads, leads into relationships, and relationships into opportunity. A 1 hour interactive workshop for business owners who want a better pitch, stronger connections, and more qualified leads without sounding salesy. I'm Art Hopkins, your enthusiastic advocate and CEO, your Chief Connection Officer, because I help founders, entrepreneurs, leaders, and communities turn conversations into relationships, and relationships into opportunities, and opportunities into movements. Speaking of opportunities, I've applied the art of connection in my life, and it has landed me in all kinds of cool places, big stages, virtual stages, red carpets, all kinds of things. But hey, before we jump in, I want to talk to you about something called the zero price effect. Okay, this is that phenomenon where when you give something away for free, people tend not to value it. You could give away a $200, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 program or product or service, and they'll just not quite treat it the same as if they dropped their dollars for the product or service. So, because I'm giving this away for free, I want to do this, all right? We're going to trick our brains into paying for this, okay? So, what I want you to do is just go over here. If you haven't joined the WhatsApp group already, scan this code, get on there, and just drop into the chat how much you might want to pay for this workshop. Could be $27, could be $200, but this will be our transaction, okay? So drop that into the chat, and also, this is important. I want you to join the chat group because this is going to be the interactive portion of this workshop. This is how we are going to continue beyond the end of this workshop to craft and work together on our pitch and all the things that I'm presenting today. There's going to be lots of bonuses. You can talk to each other because it takes a village to raise a village, right? And so we're all going to be helping each other out. So scan the code there, get on the chat, introduce yourself, drop in the $27 or whatever it is. And by the way, I promise I'm not going to be sharing your information or spamming you or getting any of that stuff. This is really the communication tool for this workshop. All right, so I want to jump in, and I forgot to say, because now that I've got your money, your Monopoly money, ka-ching, what did I do? I created an opportunity. So through the course of this workshop, when we say opportunity, you say cha-ching. Say it now. Go ahead. Cha-ching. Woo. Yes, we love that sound because it is about revenue. It's about being of service and helping each other as we support ourselves with revenue so we can be comfortable and secure for ourselves, our families, those we love, our clients, everything else. So yes, cha-ching, that is the sound of opportunity. So I want to tell you a quick story of connection. Here's a photo of me sitting down with Mr. Jeff Hoffman. If you don't know who Jeff Hoffman is, you might have traveled through an airport in your life. And you know those neat little kiosks that we check in on through the airport? Well, he's the engineer that designed and invented those. So yes, he's doing really, really good. He's also the founder of Priceline.com, Booking.com, and those kinds of things. This was a real surreal moment in my life to where he leans over to me and asks, he's like, hey, I want your opinion on something. I'm like, sure, what do you need? He's like, you know what? I was sitting down with the king of Saudi Arabia the other day, and we were having this problem of marketing. I'm like, oh, okay, what are you marketing? He's like, well, Saudi Arabia, that's what we're marketing. And it's like, well, how the heck did I wind up here, sitting at a table with a billionaire philanthropist who's interested, in my opinion, about marketing a country, Saudi Arabia, no less. Well, how did it start? Here's my connection story, and I'm going to run through this really quick. Here's me and my sister flying around, and so at first, my connection was with my sister. I was really, really nice to her, okay? There's interesting stories behind how we grew up and all that stuff, but being nice to my sister resulted in her knowing that I'm a connector, introduced me to another connector, Adora. We became fast friends, doing all kinds of neat things together, and by the way, out of her CV is amazing. She's done so many things, it's too much to list here. But she's one of the first women presidents of the Napoleon Hill Foundation. She also is involved in something called the Dining Divas. She's the executive producer of the Dining Divas Texas edition episodes. And so throughout the course of our friendship, I've introduced her to, a few people here and there. She's introduced me, and all these connections that we've made with sharing our connections with each other has just resulted in really, really fantastic things. One of the fantastic things was an episode of Dining Divas, and there's a couple people here on the episode that I had introduced to Adora, and they all had a really, really, really great time filming Dining Divas over here in Texas. And you know what? It resulted in, well, let me put it this way. The result of a lot of these connections, introduction, nurturing this relationship resulted in them being really, really nice to me. Say, hey, Arthur, we want you to join us at our mastermind out in Tobago. We're going to pay for it. Cha-ching! Opportunity, right? And it was awesome. We had a great time out there. It was one of those wonderful, intimate masterminds with about 33 people. We spent a week together or something like that. It was very intimate, got to hang out with each other, and that's how I was introduced to Mr. Jeff Hoffman, who was the keynote speaker, because he is on the advisory board for for the Dining Empire, the Diva Network, another project of Adora's. Oh my gosh, it's a wonderful thing. You got to go check out the Diva Network. And that's how we were introduced. And I ended up sitting at the table with Jeff Hoffman talking about marketing Saudi Arabia and things like that. It was amazing, amazing. And by the way, Adora's still out there. She's still killing it. I encourage you to support her as well. She's hitting stages and sharing all her experience and expertise and knowledge and all that good stuff. So look up Adora Evans, buy her book, do all the things, support her. She's a great, great friend. I love her. And, it's because of this connection thing that I was sitting at a table, and it results in not just Jeff Hoffman. I met every single person there has turned into a blossoming, wonderful relationship, which has created lots of opportunities. And what do opportunities sound like? Exactly. Ka-ching. Now, what happened was we had a conversation. It led to a lead. We nurtured a relationship. And that resulted in opportunity. And what is the sound of opportunity? Like I just said, cha-ching. Now, is it always dollars? No. Sometimes it's a pow, right? It's like lead generation is not just getting names. Lead generation is creating enough trust, curiosity, and relevance that the right people raise their hand. And it can result in dollars, but it can also result in wonderful, close, deep relationship. It could result in collaboration, strategic partners, all kinds of things. So I just want to encourage you to know that every relationship isn't always a sale, right? But every relationship can be very, very powerful and lead in personal growth, really, really deep connection, as well as increasing revenue. Okay, so here's my promise to you. By the end of this hour, I want you to leave with this: a clearer understanding of where your pitch fits inside lead generation. We're also going to craft a first draft of the Connection Catalyst pitch, which you are going to use in networking, your social media, video, events, sales conversations, all that good stuff. We're going to create a simple map for turning this one-on-one conversation into a larger lead generation ecosystem, okay? And then we'll wrap it up with a next step action plan for using your pitch in the next 7 days. So here is the whole business flow. It starts with visibility. If you look at my story back there, you'll note I was made visible to another person, right? It sparks curiosity, which leads to connection, that deeper connection. Hey, I'm curious. What about that? Now we're connecting. And that connection, of course, can turn into leads. The lead, you have a conversation, the offer is made, they become a client, the experience is awesome as they walk through your product or service, and of course that results in more referrals. This is the classic business flow of your member or client journey. This is your funnel. The room is the funnel. Do you have a funnel? I would say, I hope you're nodding your head and saying yes, because you're in a funnel right now. You are the funnel. The room is the funnel. If you're watching this, you're sitting at the top of a funnel right now, and you are the top of your funnel, okay? And wherever you go, You are the funnel, or the room is the funnel. Networking rooms, events, social media, referrals, partnerships, speaking opportunities, they are all bringing people in to your funnel, right? So today we're focusing on this part right here. You see in this business flow, you'll see that connection points right to leads. That's the key right there. So that's the title of the workshop. Lead generation through what? The art of connection. Today we're focusing on the most human part of that system, the moment someone asks, so what do you do? Because that moment can either open a door or it can quietly close one. Now, business owners often think they have a lead problem when they really have a connection problem. So I've created some things I want to share with you really quick. So let's zoom out for a second. And this here is a representation of you and your connections. You are the heart at the center of this picture. It starts with you, your business, your personal life, right? You are the center of your universe, so to speak. I don't mean that in a in a conceited way, but you are the center, right? Everything from your business, it flows out from you. You're creating it. You're establishing the connections and all of these things. You are the heart and soul of your business. And what's going on here? You can see all these lines and nodes and points. These are the people and the communities that you interact with. Trace a line to one of those dots. That could be me. And then branching off from that dot, which is me, are my connections and other connections, and on and on and on it goes. I am so fond of saying, and you've heard, those of you that know me have heard me say this many times, you are one or two people away for everything that you need. You need advice, you're going to get it from somewhere. Just start asking, right? You need money, you're going to get it from somewhere. Start putting the inquiries out there. What is it that you need? We start talking, having these connections through the art of connection, keyword connection, to make all of these wonderful things happen. Okay, so this is you and your connections that branch out into the rest of the world. Now, that being said, I want to zoom in a little bit here and focusing on you, like I said, being the soul of your business, okay? And whether it's your personal brand or your business brand. And I'm going to pause for a moment here and say, personal brand is going to outperform your business brand every single time. By how many times? About 20 times. Think about that. Now, a lot of us are like, I don't know if I want to be the face of something. I just want to promote the business. Well, if all the stats, the studies are in, that business brands will not gain as much traction as personal brand by about 2,000%. They just won't. It's crazy, right? So that being said, I want you to lean into this. Now, we can do personal brand and business brand. You are there at the center, and it could be both. It could be a mix, right? But I just wanted to point that out. So as you're working on your pitch, and as we turn that into more marketing strategies and all these things, which I'll touch on at the end, I want you to keep this in mind, because this pitch is your first step in stepping into that personal brand, putting yourself out there, and all of that good stuff. So here's just a quick glance at something I've been putting together, which is my soul ecosystem thing here with you at the center and all the things that we can work on. But I really just want to show you this. Now, there's a lot in here, and every single word on this slide we can unpack for days, weeks, months, and all those things, right? And there will be plenty of information and workshops and things talking about all these things. But today we are right here talking about our pitch. Okay, so now, when most people hear lead generation, they think of ads, funnels, CRM systems, landing pages, social media, automation, and all that good stuff. And yes, those things matter. But before someone becomes a lead, they are a human being. Before they fill out a form, they feel curiosity. Before they book a call, they feel trust. Before they buy, refer, invest, partner, or invite you onto a stage, they need to understand who you are, what you do, why it matters, and what the next step is. So today, we're not just building a pitch, we're building a doorway from stranger to conversation, from conversation to a lead, and from a lead to relationship, and from relationship to opportunity. Cha-ching. So here is an example. Listen to this. Hi, my name is Art Hopkins, CXO, your Chief Connection Officer, also known as the Connection Ecosystem Architect, because as someone who guides founders, leaders, owners in designing meaningful ecosystems around their brands and community, we turn relationships, visibility, and experiences into more momentum, multiplied revenue, and massive impact. An example is that I've helped design workshops, events, communities, and business ecosystems that move people from a simple introduction to massive returns. Right now, I'm expanding that work through online education in immersive live experiences that deepen connection and strengthen community, because after all, it takes a village to raise a village. If you connect with me after this, I'll send you my info. End pitch. So that was about 45 seconds, okay? We're going to talk about the importance of time here in a little bit. Most of us don't lose opportunities because we're not good at what we do. We lose opportunities because people can't understand us fast enough to remember us, refer us, or ask the next question. I'm going to break down some neuroscience about leads and people in plain English. Human brains thin slice strangers in around 7 seconds. That's that first number there. 7 seconds. And the verdict sticks, right? They've made us, I don't want to say a snap judgment, but some kind of classification in their brains. You do it, I do it, we all do it. Now that verdict sticks, and it takes 8 or more positive interactions to overturn. And that number 1 on your screen, how many times do you get one chance to make or how many times do you get a chance to make a first impression? One time. That's it. You can't go back. You can't have a redo, right? So a better pitch creates better opportunities. What's the upside of better opportunities? The referrals, the partnerships, speaking, clients, investors, collaborators, coaching, all that stuff. It leads to opportunities. And what do opportunities sound like? Ding! Exactly right. What I want you to do right now is you can pause this here, and I want you to say your pitch. Just say it. Record it. Video. This is just for you. Say your pitch. Pretend we just met at a networking event. I ask you, so what do you do? I want you to give me your current answer. Go ahead and do that now. Pause this and give your pitch. Go ahead. Pause it. Do it. I'm serious. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is pause this again and put yourself in the shoes of the person listening to you, listen to your pitch, and then ask yourself, what do you remember? What would you ask next? And was there a clear next step? Your pitch is not just a cute networking trick. It's a portable lead generation asset. You carry this in your invisible toolbox into rooms, videos, your direct messages, stages, podcasts, coffee meetings, and events. A clear, memorable human introduction that makes the right person want to say, tell me more, right? Because a weak pitch leaks opportunity. What? Opportunity, right? So let's look at the cost of confusion. We must realize that vague communication costs money, right? So here are the 3 pitch killers, right? Too much information. Go back to your pitch, read it again. Were you going on and on and on about what you do? And by the way, how many seconds did it take? Take a note of that. We're going to talk about that soon. Was there clear value? This is a pitch killer, no clear value, right? What is the value of what you do? And was there a next step? Are you pointing people to how to stay in touch, or what's the next step in the conversation or the connection? So important. I gotta warn you against overwhelming people. Don't overwhelm them with too much information, and emphasize clear, concise communication focused on outcomes, the value, rather than dumping information. If people hear your pitch and say, that's nice, you probably lost the lead. If they say, tell me more, awesome. You opened the door. All right, so we are going to get into the 7-step connection catalyst pitch. Now the meat is hitting the bone. This is where I want you to get out your notebooks, open your docs, all those things. We are going to craft a magnetic first impression. Magnetic, because we're going to bring them in. And remember, the shorter the better, because LinkedIn Pulse tells us that 30 to 45 seconds is prime real estate for the time on your pitch. In just 20 to 30 seconds, you will capture attention, spark interest, and leave your listener wanting to hear more. Okay? And remember, this is the elevator pitch. This is just the start. This is just opening the conversation. It's not the close. That's why we're condensing all this into just a few seconds, right? It's just basic. It's your intro, right? So for this part of the workshop, we will be completing your introductory pitch in a sort of formula pattern that looks like this. So again, get your paper and pen and pencil out. This is, like I said, where the rubber hits the road. We're going to put the meat on the bone right now. Get your document open, whatever it is you're going to do on your phone, your computer, your pad of paper. We are going to build this right now. And here we go. All right. So let's start with the why. Why? I want you to begin with the end in mind. It's a fast-paced world we're living in, right? Clarity and focus are your most powerful assets. Whether you're selling a product, launching a book, introducing a coaching program, joining a network marketing company, investing in real estate, or planning an event, your elevator pitch provides a rock-solid system to effectively engage and captivate your audience. But here's the key. To truly succeed, you must first know where you're headed. Start with the end in mind. Remember, delivering your pitch, it's essential to clearly define what you are pitching, what action you want your listener to take, and ensure you're prepared to follow up effectively. A focused approach paves the way for meaningful results. Answer these questions. What is the name of your product or service? And this is on the, there's also a form that I filled out for you guys to work on this, but you're probably going to need more room, right? So you, like I said, use your document or your paper and answer these questions. What's the name of your product or service or the idea that you have? What is the description of your product, service, or idea? And what are the key features and benefits of your product, service, or idea? Write those down. I'll say them again. What's the name of your product? And by the way, just pause when you need to on this video to answer these questions as we go. Very important that you don't just listen through. I really, really want you to stop and do the work, okay? So what is the name of your product or service or the idea that you have? What's the description of your product or service or idea? Number 3, what are the key features and benefits of your product, service, or idea? Who benefits most from your product, service, or idea, and why? Here's the why. What direction do you want to steer the listener to, and what action do you want them to take? Now remember, your pitch isn't meant to close the deal. It's meant to start the conversation. So we're choosing the destination. What do you want this pitch to lead to? For example, do you want to book a call? Do you want to want them to visit your website, attend your event, request a quote, join your list, scan your QR code? Do you want them to refer someone, schedule a consultation, etc., etc.? So think about that after you look at your product, your service, or idea, so you can choose your destination. And you might have several, right? You don't have to pick one. And we're probably going to craft different pitches for the different destinations that we're creating. All right, that was step 1. Let's jump into step 2, the name game. What if I told you that you are missing out on golden opportunities straight out of the gate if you do not introduce yourself strategically? Think about this. What do you want to achieve when you meet new people? Build relationships, attract customers, find partners. Let's start with making your name memorable so they don't forget you 20 seconds after meeting you. Here's some food for thought. What does my name mean? Am I named for someone special? And be honest. Do you like your name? Do you don't like your name? Do you want a different name? It's my given name, my married name. Take a moment and just reflect on your name and how you say it. Your name is a powerful part of your identity and the foundation of how others perceive you. If it aligns with who you are and you say it with pride, it can open doors. But if it doesn't serve you, it might be time to consider a change. So you'll be saying, hi, my name is, I was named for, or my name means, my last name is. These are things to write down. Here's some homework to construct this. If you're happy with your name and the way you say it with confidence and all that, don't worry about this part. But for those of you that are thinking about this, like, we've heard other people introduce themselves in fun and creative ways. It could be their nickname, I'm the queen of this or that, and the other word, you get into that in a moment. Anyway, so write down your name. My name is, state your name. I was named for, like, where did this come? What's the origin? Why did mom or dad or whoever name you this, right? And what does your name mean? Have you looked it up? Mine means king, right? King Arthur. It was interesting. Write down your last name. My last name is, write it down. Have you ever had a different first name or last name? And look at this. Do you like your name? And if not, what would you change it to? This exercise is about exploring the meaning and power of your name. While you don't have to change it, know that you always have the option to, if it no longer serves you. I want you to own your name so you can own the room. Practice saying your name aloud, as silly as it feels, while emphasizing clarity and confidence. When you introduce yourself with intention, you create a strong, memorable connection right from the start. Because this is the start. It's the boom. You're coming out of the gate with your name. That's the very first part of the pitch, right? Now, I want to talk about the 3 P's really, really quick, right? Period, pause, and process. Think of your pitch like a great song. The most powerful moments aren't just in the notes played, but in the pauses between them. Just as silence in music creates anticipation and impact, pausing in your pitch allows your listener to absorb and connect with what you're saying. If you rush through your introduction, it's like playing every note at once. Overwhelming and forgettable. Let me say that again. Overwhelming and forgettable, right? When we're overwhelmed, what do we want to do? Like, forget it. Instead, slow down, let each word land, and give your message the space it needs to truly resonate. And the secret to being memorable, period. State your name with conviction. We just talked about that. Confidence, be proud. Then pause ever so slightly. Give your audience a moment to absorb your message. And process. Allow the information to land. Don't rush the conversation. When you're done with your pitch, pause. Let them process. Wait. They're going to fill in the space. Bottom line, pay attention to your listener. Your pitch does not happen in a vacuum, but rather it's a dance between 2 or more people. Make eye contact and observe their reactions. If their eyes are drifting or they seem distracted, it's a sign they may be losing interest. Instead of rattling off everything you do, slow down. Take a moment to breathe. It will help you stay grounded and make your message more impactful. So this first part, which is your name with presence, we want you to say your name confidently and clearly. How I want to say it? Confident, clear, warm, grounded. All right, let's move to the next part. Now that we've got the awesome name dialed in, I'm known as. This is your signature identity. So the question, what do you do, is one of the most common questions at social or business gatherings. Most people respond with, I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm an author, etc. Oh, I help people do something. I teach a topic. These answers may be typical, but they focus on what you do rather than what you can offer them, right? So the power of this wording, and I want you to use this exactly as you see it here on the screen. I'm known as. Answering with I'm known as immediately sets the stage for credibility and positions you as an expert. It grabs attention, builds curiosity, and makes your response stand out. This phrase shifts the focus from simply describing what you do to establishing how others perceive your value. And here's why it works. Instant authority. Your statement gives you a label that positions you as a powerful figure in the mind of your listener. It's not just a description, it's a title that commands respect and credibility. And it's memorable. A well-crafted 3-word title makes you stand out from the crowd and gives your pitch 10 times the impact. It not only tells people what you do, but also positions you as a highly qualified to do it. It gives clarity and value. It clearly communicates your expertise or unique value in a way that your audience can quickly and easily understand. It gives social proof. It implies that others already recognize and value your contributions. This shifts the perception from, here's what I think I do, to, here's what the world knows me for. Now, we want to use 3 words only. Why 3 words? Because simplicity is memorable. The brain naturally processes information in 3s, making your statement easier to recall and far more impactful. Think about this. Your 3 words not only describe what you do, but also communicate what you can do for them. This subtle shift transforms your statement into a powerful tool that instantly conveys value and sparks interest. What do you do? I help business grow. We want to turn that into, using this, it becomes, what do you do? I'm known as the brand building specialist. See the difference? Set the stage for success. Here's some comparisons. I'm gonna do a what do you do? And compared to I'm known as, right? What do you do? I'm a caregiver. Or I'm a compassionate healing guide. Ooh, see the difference? What do you do? Oh, I'm in real estate. Or I'm a dream property connector. So what do you do? I'm an interior designer. Or I'm an innovative space strategist. Nothing. See the difference in these examples? I love them. Nothing in life is more important than the ability to communicate effectively. All right, so here's the exercise. Get your paper, your doc, whatever. We're going to make 3 lists of words, 3 separate lists, okay? You're going to brainstorm and refine your statement to create 3 powerful words that establish your authority, showcase your expertise, and communicate the value you bring. This will help you create a clear, memorable statement that leaves your audience wanting to know more. Here's how it works. Follow these steps. On list 1, identify your expertise. That's the title, expertise, on list 1. List 2, define your impact. On the second list, you're going to write define your impact. And the final list, list 3, you're going to choose an authority title. The third list, choose an authority title. Now, you can mix and match, combine the words to find the best combination that feels authentic, clear, and impactful. They don't have to be in an exact order. It'll start working itself out naturally, the way it sounds and rolls off the tongue and all that stuff. This exercise will help you craft a statement that not only describes what you do, but also positions you as the go-to expert in your field. All right, let's dig into these lists a little bit. The first one, identify your expertise. Take a moment to reflect on your unique skills and areas of expertise. What are you truly known for? Write a single word that represents your strengths, passions, or the abilities that set you apart in your field. All right, there are examples that we're going to get into. We've already used some. Use them as inspiration to craft a clear, impactful statement that showcases your authority and value. It's on the handout. You'll find the handout in the chat. So go back and scan that code to get in there. I'm going to give lots more examples. If you join the chat and you're brand new in there, just ask for it. Okay, say, hey, I need the handout. All right, let's dig into the second list. Define your impact. Think about the results or transformations. Oh, I should stop here and say, remember, it's only one word. Anyway, define your impact. Think about the results or transformations you deliver for others. What value do you create? Write one word outcomes. Focus on the ways your work impacts people or businesses or organizations. Write that word down on those. Write a bunch of them. And use AI, use dictionaries, thesauruses, get creative. If words aren't occurring to you, or my vocabulary isn't as vast as the Webster Dictionary. I use it all the time, right? And there's some really good words in there that I otherwise wouldn't have thought of. Okay, the third list, identify your authority title. Select powerful words that position you as an authority in your field. Think about how you want to be perceived. These words should reflect your level of expertise. Write one title or descriptor on each line. Now, Combine your words to create your statement. Now it's time to bring everything together. Using the words from list 1, 2, and 3, start combining your words to create your unique I'm known as statement. This is the final step in completing your I'm known as statement. So take your time and adjust it until it feels authentic, powerful, and memorable. It may not feel any of those at first, but I want you to lean into the one that you're going to own, okay? Enjoy the process. This exercise is meant to be fun and creative. Let yourself explore different ideas and combinations to find your perfect fit. And know this, your I'm known as can change. It's not set in stone. Your statement is specific to the pitch or situation you're preparing for, and it may evolve over time. And as I mentioned earlier, we might have 3 to 5 of them in our toolbox. We're entrepreneurs. We don't do just one thing, right? And so there's many, many kinds of pitches we might be crafting, but we'll dig deeper into that later. Focus on the moment. You don't need to share everything you do. Just like a buffet, people can only take in one thing at a time, right? Highlight the part of your expertise that's most relevant to your audience and the moment. For example, if I'm talking to CEOs, I might say I'm the revenue multiplier architect. If I'm teaching networking, I might say something like I'm known as the enthusiastic networking educator. When I'm talking residential assisted living, I might say I'm known as the senior sanctuary provider. Now, I want to really dig into the language here. The difference between or the letter A, like I am a, and the word the. I am the or the. The difference between and the can mean massive perceived credibility. I'm known as a digital marketer. I'm known as a digital marketer compared to I'm known as the digital marketer. You hear the difference? I'm known as a digital marketer. I'm known as the digital marketer. I keep stumbling over that word. Who knew a couple of letters could have such a different impact? So be sure you're using the word the, all right? And it could be I am known as the, or you could use something like people come to me for, but I really highly recommend the first one. I'm known as the. That's your signature identity. So you're using the formula of your impact word, your expertise word, and your authority word. Here's some examples that you can see on the handout. I am the strategic growth advisor. I'm known as the dream property connector. I'm known as the connection ecosystem architect. I'm known as the business scaling strategist. I'm known as the legacy wealth navigator. I'm known as the client experience designer. I'm known as the home investment guide. I'm known as the brand visibility architect. Wonderful titles. Now, hearing those titles, your brain is going, aha, okay, we know what the, what would we say? I don't want to say boring, but the regular title is, right? And isn't it making you curious? Like, ooh, that sounds pretty cool. Tell me more, right? All right. That is step number 1. Number 2. I'm known as. Now let's keep moving on to the because, all right? This is your credibility bridge, the word because. And you have to use this word because. The next step in your pitch is to qualify why you are known as your 3-word moniker. You've introduced yourself, shared your name, and confidently delivered what you're known as. If you did it right, your listener should be thinking, tell me more. Why are you known as that? This is where your because statement comes in. It's your opportunity to back up your title with credibility, results, and expertise. Now, why does it matter? It sets you apart. The 3 words create curiosity. The because satisfies it with a compelling answer. It builds credibility. It instantly qualifies your title, showing the results and expertise that back it up. It inspires engagement. A strong because invites the listener to want to know more about what you do. When someone asks, what do you do? They're not really asking for your resume. They're not asking for your entire life story. They're not asking for every certification, every service, every feature, every package, every tool, and every wonderful thing you've ever done. What they're really asking is, whether they know it or not, is, can you help me? Can you help someone I care about? Can you solve a problem that I understand? Can you create an outcome I want, right? When we're talking to people in these situations, what they really, really want to know is how can you help them? How can you help them? I really want to, boom, underline this, okay? Can you help me? Can you help someone I care about? Can you solve a problem that I have? Can you create an outcome that I want? So when we build this section, I want you to think very clearly. Who do I help? What problems do they have? What pain, frustration, confusion, delay, risk, or missed opportunity are they experiencing? What result do I help them create? Folks, this is the money line, okay? I want you to listen to this. Here's some examples. If I'm a real estate agent, I may say, I'm a realtor. As opposed to, I help families who feel overwhelmed by the buying process find the right home with clarity, confidence, and less stress. See the difference? The first one was weak. Second one, very strong. And I'm illustrating how I help. Let's do the same example with a mortgage professional. You might say, I do mortgages. Here's what I want you to say. I help buyers who are confused by financing understand their options so they can move toward home ownership with confidence. Woo, that is cool, right? An insurance agent might say, I sell insurance. Or they could say, I help families protect themselves from financial surprises no one expected. I'm sorry, let me say that again. I sell insurance. Here's the better one. I help families protect themselves from financial surprises so one unexpected event doesn't destroy everything they've worked for. You might say, I'm a business coach. Here's what's better. I help business owners who feel stuck, scattered, or overwhelmed build simple systems that create more revenue, time, and control. I'm an event planner, by the way, folks. That's a lot of the thing, or part of what I do. I don't just say, I plan events. I say, I help organizations turn ordinary gatherings into meaningful experiences that create connection, trust, and follow-up opportunities. Cha-ching, right? So let's put it together. Structure of a strong because statement. Start with your qualifier. As someone who, that's what it sounds like. Because, as someone who, or because having helped, or because after working with, and fill in the blanks after that. Explain what makes you credible. Highlight the results, achievements, or the impact that you've made. End with a confident conclusion. Reinforce the authority of your title. A salesperson might say, I'm known as the luxury lifestyle specialist because I've managed over $100 million in real estate, jewels, and watches, helping clients design their ultimate dream lifestyles. Ooh, doesn't that sound cool? A life coach might say, I'm known as the personal growth navigator because I've guided hundreds of clients from chaos to clarity, helping them build fulfilling careers, thriving relationships, and lives that they're proud to live. How about a fitness instructor? They would be saying something like this. I'm known as the total body strategist because I've trained over 1,000 clients, helping them achieve lean, strong physiques with personalized workouts and sustainable nutrition plans. Do you want to be an inspirational speaker? Then you can say something like this. I'm known as the limitless mindset coach because I've inspired audiences worldwide, delivering transformative speeches that help people break through barriers and reach their full potential. Doesn't all that sound great? Now it's your turn. Write down your I'm known as statement. Now identify your credibility that backs up your three-word title. This part must start with the word because to be effective. Focus on results, expertise, or your unique experience. What is the credible milestone or experience you have that backs up your authority? For example, managing millions in real estate, launching successful products, coaching hundreds of clients, right? Because as someone who, instead of saying I am, consider starting with the phrase as someone who. This small shift positions you as an expert, builds instant credibility, and naturally connects your experience to the value you offer. Here's what I want you to avoid: talking too much. Overloading your audience with information can confuse and overwhelm them. Keep it clear, concise, and focused on the key value. Don't overwhelm them with the facts. People don't buy products or ideas, they buy outcomes. Connect the dots between what you offer and how it improves their life or business. And lack of engagement. A pitch isn't a monologue. Very important. Do not go right. It's not a monologue. If you fail to engage your listener with stories, questions, or emotional connection, you'll lose their attention and their yes. Okay, let's move on to the proof spark. One result, story, statistic, or transformation. All right, an example of what I've achieved. That's the next part of the sentence, your pitch, your elevator pitch. It provides clear, concise examples of your achievements, helps your listener see the real impact of your work, and envision what you can do for them. You want to craft just one powerful sentence, like a transformation example, a specific client success story. Think of a client or person you've helped. What transformation did they experience because of your work? And it might sound something like, my client went from 0 to 1 million by working with me. Now, I'm just filling in the blank. So my client, fill in the blank, went from, fill in the blank of their struggle, to success by my expertise. It could be a big win or recognition or a notable career achievement. What's a major milestone, award, or career-defining moment that showcases your expertise? So you could say, after a specific experience, I was able to make this big achievement. How did that happen? Fill in those blanks. A powerful statistic that proves your impact. Numbers add credibility. Have you helped X number of clients save Y amount of their time or generated Z in revenue? Fill those numbers in. So it sounds something like this. I've trained over 1,000 professionals, helping them collectively earn over $50 million in sales in just 2 years. Now, if we break that down, listen to what I just said. Here it is again. I've trained over 1,000 professionals, helping them collectively earn over $50 million in sales in just 2 years. Now, what are they saying? I've added up the professionals that I've helped. It could be teams. So add up the number of people that you've helped. Collectively earned $50 million, right? So if I look at all of my clients and what their revenue is after I helped them, I want to add it all up into one really amazing, cool number, right? And then we said in just 2 years, like whatever the time is, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is. And achievements. When you're sharing your achievements, focus on what matters to your listener. Skip the laundry list. Choose one powerful success story that directly connects to their needs or goals and keeps your pitch on track. Okay? Very important. And we'll dig into that in the chat as well. I've got lots more to say about that. In fact, all of these I got lots more to say about, and we'll dig into them in the chat. All right, so the current invitation. What are you working on or inviting people into now? Your current focus section should invite engagement, right? So this is step 6. Now what I'm up to is you've introduced yourself, established your value, and sparked interest. Now it's time to clearly share what you're doing, how it benefits them, and how they can get involved. This is the pivotal moment in your elevator pitch, right? This is the pivotal moment where curiosity turns into commitment. Remember the goal of your pitch? Remember at the very beginning, we wrote down the destination? This is when you seamlessly invite them to take action with you in your pitch. Define your current focus. What is the main project, offer, or opportunity you're currently working on that you want to engage your prospect on? For example, are you launching a new course? Are you launching a book? Are you launching a podcast, or do you have one? Are you launching a new business? Are you hosting a live event, a webinar, or a mastermind? Are you building a community, a network, or a partnership? Are you growing a brand, social media presence, or client base? Are you developing a new product, program, or service? Stop pitching, start solving, right? We are pitching, but this is the part where we solve. Focus on how what you offer solves a problem or improves your listener's life, and you'll turn maybe into a yes faster than you think. Write it down. Write it down now. Again, I hope you've been pausing here and there to be writing these things down through all of the steps, okay? So you're going to write down now what you're up to. and be excited. What are you excited most about right now that you're building, developing, or launching? All that good stuff, all right? Now, let's move on to the next easy step, all right? The best way to contact me. It's time to get your listener to take action. Always do this, folks. Do not have a pitch without some way for them. The fortune is where? In the follow-up. It's time to get your listener to take action. The easier you make it for them to connect with you, the more effective your pitch. Write down all of the ways someone can contact you: email, phones, links, etc. A more effective way to share your information is to generate your own QR code. You saw me do it at the beginning here. It can direct people to a website, landing page, digital business card, making it easy for them to connect and take action. You can always update the call to action in your pitch, but a pitch without a clear next step is like an airplane without wings. It won't take you anywhere. Connection without a next step is just a nice moment. Connection with a next step becomes momentum. Okay, right? So put down your contact information there, and boom, we have got it. Yeah, if you followed all those 7 steps, we are there, right? So write it down, and now say it. Simplify it, tweak it as you go, and humanize it. What do I mean by humanize? Make it your own. It's like we are creating kind of a script here, and it's not going to come out off the tongue naturally until you memorize it and make it your own. Add your, adding your personality, your own inflection, and everything on top of it. Practice, practice, practice. Right now, you did your video, I hope, at the beginning, right? Now, just read it off the script, right, and put on your video. Put it on print it out and put it in front of you. You've been taking the notes, you've crafted it, and I want you to take a video again. This is why I love this work. Now, compare the two. How does the pitch now sound to the one that you had before? We didn't change who you are. We revealed who you are in a way the room can understand, remember, and respond to, right? So, write it down. Say it, keep tweaking. I literally have mine printed out, and it's because I change it all the time, and it's sitting around. Sometimes it's sitting next to my lunch, and it's here on my desk and those kinds of things. And after a while, it's just second nature, right? Just like when we memorize lyrics to a song or the things we've been repeating, let it sink down there into the long-term memory of the brain. And now we want to take it into the world, multiply the pitch. This is the lead generation ecosystem, or the connection lead pathway. Okay, this is the title of the workshop. We are generating leads through the art of connection. We've created what we're going to say, and that's how you are going to connect, right? I'm going to say something, I'm going to connect with them, and then they'll pass into a lead, right? So pay attention here, because we start with this. This is the pathway. Where are we gonna do this, right? Where are we gonna say all this? Well, we can say it out loud at networking. We can at events, whether I'm on the stage or in the audience. Referrals, social media, when you're speaking, in your partnerships, and that in turn leads to the next part where we use what we just crafted. Like you're going to get attention in these areas, and then we use our pitch, our clear identity, our credibility, our curiosity, and the next step, which creates the hand raiser moment, right? They ask a question, or they scan the QR code, they book the call, they reach out by direct message, they join the list or attend the event, right? And all of this is the trust builder. It's our long form content. Could be we invited them to a workshop, our podcast, our webinar, newsletter, meeting, whatever it may be, which leads to what? Now that they've established trust, the offer conversation. This is when we're on the call or we have a consultation. I'm making a proposal. I'm making the invitation to work with me, my product, my service, my idea. And they, boom, that lead, yay, becomes what? The client, the partner, the referral. Woohoo! This is why your pitch matters. Your pitch is not the whole funnel. Your pitch is the doorway into the funnel, right? So your impact is a result of visibility and is built through assets and repeated connection points. Okay, here's some. Pitch, publishing, products, profile, and partnerships. That is exactly why your pitch cannot live only in a networking room. Once you refine it, it becomes the seed for your short form videos, long form content, event intro, your bio, your podcast intro, your event intro, your landing page, your social posts, and your CTA, your call to action. Today we focused on the face-to-face pitch. In the next layer, we take this same pitch and turn it into short form content, long form trust building content, and a clear call to action. Because once your message works one-on-one, we can make it work one to many. Let me say that again. Once your message works one-on-one, we've refined our pitch, we're practicing, we're putting out there to people, one-on-one. We can make it work one to many, where we're putting out there online, out there in the universe. Best way, do we want one lead or do we want hundreds, right? So we can make it work one to many. With me? Awesome, because it goes into your call to action, which creates those opportunities. And opportunities are what? Yes, cha-ching, say it with me, cha-ching. Or those awesome pal relationships that we have in our life, all right? So I want you to use this pitch within 7 days. Here's the challenge. Here is your homework. In the next 7 days, use your Connection Catalyst pitch in 3 places. Say it to one real person. Record it as a short video. And by the way, when you record that short video, play it back, listen to it. I know, a lot of us don't like the sound of our own voice or looking at our face. We get critical, but get past that, please, and just record it as a short video. Just like you listen to that song over and over until you learned every single word, we're doing it the same with our pitch. We got to get it. We got to push it from our short-term memory down into our long-term memory, right? Put it in your social bio, your email signature, or your landing page. And a bonus thing, I want to hear in the chat when you've invited someone to a real next step. If you know your business needs more leads, but you don't want to chase people, spam people, or sound like everyone else, scan the QR code up here on the chat, get into the chat, and I'll help you map your connection pathway from pitch to lead to opportunity. Okay, folks, so that's what this chat is all for. I'm going to put the code up again here in a second, and I really, really want you to jump in there. So again, if you know your business needs more leads, but you don't want to chase people, spam people, or sound like everyone else, scan the code. Get in the chat. I'm going to help you map your connection pathway from pitch to lead to opportunity, so you can be the person that makes these, using the art of connection. There's the code. You can pause it, scan it, get in that chat if you didn't do it the first time. We're all going to work together to increase our opportunities, right? So you can be the next person that might, I don't know, be involved with some kind of a personal development group. You're not feeling so great one day. So you remember the story, I was sitting with Jeff Hoffman, right? Well, and how that whole story led up to a wonderful, wonderful connection and opportunity and relationship. Well, you could be the next person that, I don't know, reaches out to your friend Sue because you're feeling kind of down in the dumps one day, and we're part of a personal development group, and we support each other a lot, and she says, you know what you need to do? You need to listen to this guy named David Goggins. Have you ever heard of him? No, never heard of him. What's going on over there? So I start, he's got a book and some YouTubes, and it look great. And then, my phone listened to everything, and boom, up pops this event with David Goggins speaking there. I go to the event. I'm an audience member. I join the thing. I get involved with the community. And don't you know it leads to what? Eventually, I am working for the Aspire Tour as host of the VIP room, right? Oh my gosh, opportunity, cha-ching, right? And then what happens? I'm working in the VIP room. I'm making connections. Here's my dear friend, Rhonda Kulch. Awesome lady. Look her up. She's got a fantastic podcast as well. And then one of my tactics also when I'm out there networking is that, if I'm there the day before an event, hang out in the lobby. I got to the hotel in Charlotte And I know Rhonda was going to be there. We hadn't seen each other yet. We were communicating via text and all that. It was one of those long travel days. It's the day before the event. I get there, I'm tired. I get to my room. I don't want to do anything, right? But I'm like, oh, remember your networking tactics. Well, just why don't you cruise the lobby just to see who's around, who you might talk to. And of course, Rhonda and all the gang is down there. Hey, Arthur, how you doing? What are you doing? It's like, we're all going out to dinner. Do you want to join us? I'm like, sure. Okay, cool. Arthur, do us a favor. Go over there to the bar and get Robert, and help him over here. We're calling the Uber. They're pulling up now. Could you go get Robert, please? Yeah, sure. I'll go get Robert. Where's he at? And who is it? Oh, Robert Kiyosaki. That Robert? No way. Author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And here we are. I found myself in the back seat of an Uber chatting it up with Robert Kiyosaki for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, talking about life, the state of the world, all of these things. It was just an awesome opportunity, right? And opportunity is what? Cha-ching, right? This particular connection didn't result in dollars, but it did result in the POW, just a wonderful relationship of mentorship. Yeah, I mean, come on, it's Robert Kiyosaki. I got lots of information, lots of encouragement, all that good stuff. Your next lead may not come from a funnel, an ad, or an algorithm. Your next lead may come from the next human being who finally understands who you are, what you do, why it matters, and how to take the next step with you. That is the art of connection. So, hey, everybody, I hope you enjoyed the workshop. Lots of things there. Go back and replay it as many times as you have to. Keep working on that pitch, outline it, scan the code, join us in the chat. I'll see you over there, and we will connect and create opportunities. Ka-ching! We'll see you over there, guys. Take care. Bye.